In today's video, I'm going to be discussing $2,200 Social Security checks and bonus payments. I have all the details and exactly what you need to know right here in the video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. All right, now first off, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you know as well as I do and everybody else, there's a ton of different plans out there right now to change Social Security. Well, as a result of that, they're talking about this $2,200 Social Security check number, which continues to show up, and this whole idea of bonus payments as well. Well, again, that's what I want to bring to your attention and explain exactly what they're talking about, what this all means, and what it would mean for beneficiaries who receive benefits under $2,200 as well as benefits above $2,200 a month as of right now, as they talk about these details. So let's get into it and discuss what is going on and what all this actually means. However, really fast before we do, can I ask a huge favor of you? If you have not done so yet, or if you're new here, first off, welcome. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. But will you please make sure to subscribe to the channel and join the other nearly 500,000 people here on the channel that have already subscribed by hitting the subscribe button right down below. Thank you. I truly do appreciate it. I want to do whatever I possibly can for you to keep you informed of what's actually happening right now. Things are changing very rapidly. It's a super busy time. We're getting all kinds of new information, so I'm watching the headlines, doing the research, advocating on your behalf, answering questions, and doing anything I possibly can to help you out navigate this time right now, especially as it pertains to you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, programs, anything like this. Again, I'm going to bring it to you right here in these short videos. So again, thank you for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so. Join the other nearly 500,000 people here on the channel. Again, thank you so much. Truly appreciate all of you. And let's talk through all the details about this. All right, so this tends to be a line in the sand that I continue to see showing up all the time is this $2,200 Social Security check number, okay? Now, obviously, this may change a little bit going forward, but this is something I certainly want to watch very closely because there's a couple different iterations of what they want to do here, okay? And remember, what is the whole purpose of changing Social Security? I've had a couple people ask this, as in, why do they want to do all this stuff? Here's why. Remember, at the end of the day, it all comes down to insolvency. That's literally what it is every single time, every detail that they talk about. Let's change the program. But why? Why would you want to do that? Why would you change Social Security? The whole purpose is insolvency. That's literally the reason every single time. If it wasn't an insolvency issue, if there was nothing about the finance of Social Security that was concerning to anybody, they wouldn't make any changes. It would just be fine. Let's leave the program alone, right? It's been around for nearly 90 years. Why would we touch it again, right? This is why they want to do this, because they're concerned about potential insolvency in about 9, 10, maybe 11 years, depends on what you look at. But they're concerned about running out of money, and then they have to cut benefits by anywhere between about 21 and 17%, and then beneficiaries lose a lot of money as a result, right? So they're trying to figure out a solution now to figure out what they can do to avoid insolvency and remain solvent for many more decades into the future and remain have these promised benefits going out to beneficiaries. So that's the whole purpose behind all of these different changes that are out there that they keep proposing to change Social Security, okay? But anyway, here is the big one, okay? And again, this is just one of many that are out there right now. But again, at the end of the day, I'm not sure about you, but I want to know all potential options that are on the table about this. And again, this is something that actually is getting some popularity, and there's many different people out there, lawmakers included, that say, yeah, we should do this, okay? But anyway, here's the idea. So they're basically saying, in a matter of just years here, equilibrium. In other words, the middle line, the kind of the average, the median, equilibrium, kind of the middle number of Social Security benefits is going to be right around $2,200 a month is what the average beneficiary will be getting here in just, a short amount of time. In the relatively near future here, it's about $2,200. Okay, so right now as we speak, it's about $1,900. It's a little over $1,900, but in a matter of time here, in just a few years, as they want to implement this, it's going to be about $2,200 a month, okay? Okay, so what does that actually mean? They're suggesting that we should be no longer giving raises to higher income people above the $2,200 a month, and anybody above this threshold, they would periodically and kind of scale off these benefits. In other words, the average benefit the maximum benefit right now is a little under $5,000 a month. Well, there's many people out there saying, who needs a $5,000 check from Social Security every single month? We shouldn't be doing this, right? Well, depends on what you think. It doesn't really matter. I'm just simply saying, this is what some people are suggesting, is that we should not be giving $5,000 monthly benefits to some people, okay? It's a lot of money, by the way, not bad, right? A $5,000 check in your mailbox every month, not a bad deal, right? But anyway, so what they want to do is there's a couple different iterations, like I said. Number one would be no longer giving COLA raises to individuals that get higher benefits of these higher dollar amounts. Now next, they also want to reduce these higher benefits mostly for the upper income people, 20%, the highest beneficiaries, the top 20% of beneficiaries, shave their benefits down. So the higher benefit they get, the more of a shaving or the more of a reduction that they get to their benefit. Well, what do they do with all the extra money? There's a couple different options there as well. Number one, plow it back into the trust fund and leave it there for future benefits and future generations and things like this to make sure that we remain solvent, okay? That's one of the options. One of the other options is to take that extra money and to push it over to the lower income people who are below the federal poverty line to eventually boost their benefits up to a minimum of the federal poverty line, okay? So this is another option as well. Now, one of the other arguments that is out there is that anybody receiving a benefit of $2,200 or more per month perceives their benefit check as a bonus payment. Okay, that's just what they're saying. Okay, that's why they continue to say it's a bonus payment above $2,200. It's a bonus payment because these individuals have other sources of income. They typically have maybe pensions or dividends or portfolio income or annuities, or again, the list goes on and on, all kinds of different things. Generally, higher income individuals, higher income Social Security beneficiaries, typically, not always, but typically do have other sources of income in their retirement. Some of those that I just rattled off there a second ago. Now, they typically say, well, maybe anybody above this $2,200 threshold on a monthly basis, we start reducing checks. And again, the higher the benefit goes, the more the reduction comes in, the more that the benefits are reduced. And then that just simply means that eventually these benefits, they stop getting increases because of the COLA. That's, again, there's like, what I'm talking about here in this video, by the way, I'm talking about like 20 different iterations. There's a ton of different iterations, all kind of pegging off of this different thing. But there's a lot of different discussions about how they want to approach this going forward. But this whole $2,200 a month and this whole bonus check idea is a major line in the sand, okay? So it's right around that $2,200 is they kind of find that anybody above that threshold getting a monthly payment of above, say that $2,200 a month or so, typically has other sources of income. Below that, not as much. It's not as prolific. Not as many people have additional sources of income below that $2,200 a month. Okay, so it's like this magical line in the sand. It's like, wow, got this magical line in the sand. $2,200 a month is what they're talking about here, okay? So anyway, this is what they're suggesting. And again, what they want to do is essentially shave down or reduce benefits for higher income people. And again, the higher the benefit goes, the more of a whacking they get on their monthly benefit. Does that kind of make sense? So it's like this, it's almost like a tax bracket. The higher the income, the higher the reduction or the tax, essentially, the so-called tax that I'm talking about here. It's not actually a tax, but it's more like reducing benefits more and more, the higher and higher the benefit gets above kind of that equilibrium of the $2,200 a month, or the so-called bonus, quotes here, bonus check is what they're calling it, right? So anyway, that's what they're talking about. And again, this could be good for Social Security in a couple different ways. Number one is it pushes that money back into the trust fund to remain solvent for many more decades into the future. Or number two, another iteration would be is they push this money over to lower income beneficiaries, boost their benefits more significantly as a result of the annual COLAs. And then these beneficiaries eventually get their benefits up to at least the federal poverty line and above. Then eventually over a period of time, however long that happens to be, I don't know however long this would take, but eventually lower income people would be pushed at least to the federal poverty line and possibly above. And then nobody receiving Social Security has a benefit under the federal poverty line. I'm not sure about you, but this would be a major win for the program and a major win for the beneficiaries is if Social Security could come out. Imagine this. The day that Social Security maybe comes out and says, we have a major announcement. Not a single beneficiary receiving our benefits, Social Security benefits, is receiving benefit under the federal poverty line. Would that not be a major win for the program, for whatever administration is in place at that time, for the beneficiaries as a whole? That would be massively huge, right? That would be a major announcement. Not a single beneficiary receiving Social Security is under the federal poverty line. That'd be a cool announcement. Unfortunately, today, That's not the case. That is not the case whatsoever. In fact, according to some recent statistics, about 11 million seniors who currently receive Social Security are living under the poverty line. That's a ton of people. It's a lot of people, right? About 11 million. So anyway, give or take a little bit based on some recent numbers. So do you kind of see the point here? I know this is very kind of all over the place, a lot of confusing data here, a lot of numbers and things like this, but there's so many different iterations of it, and it all kind of hinges right around this $2,200 a month that they call a bonus payment at $2,200 a month, okay? I'm not sure about you, but $2,200 is like... These days, with all the prices and everything going on right now, $2,200 a month is not that much, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's certainly benefits that are well below that, but $2,200 a month is kind of like what most people need right now, just to kind of get by with housing and utilities and car, transportation and food and all the other things that have gone up massively over the last couple of years here. It's kind of where we're sitting right now. It's kind of like almost like the minimum that most people need just to kind of get by. And again, I totally get it. A lot of people are getting way less than that. $943 on SSI, significantly less than other benefits. Again, the benefits are all over the place, but does this kind of make sense? So anyway, that's what they're talking about. And again, they just refer to this as a bonus check and versus a safety net check. That's kind of one of the other things that's out there as well. Either way, I hope this helps you to some degree. As always, please subscribe down below. If you have any comments, questions, feedback on this, if you want me to come back and explain this further, again, let me know down below as well. I can do whatever I can. I can jump on a live stream if you want me to. I can come back in another video. Whatever you need, let me know. Other than that, pretty confusing situation, but at the end of the day, the whole situation is to avoid insolvency, the trust fund running out of money, and maybe at the same time, reducing benefits for higher income people and increasing benefits for lower income people, eventually possibly meeting at this equilibrium and avoiding this whole bonus check situation. Make sense? Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends on social media. There's a share button right down below next to the subscribe button as well. Otherwise, check out some of the other videos here on the channel, including the thousands in the video library, those that I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. And right now, popping up on your screen, you'll see some videos there as well. So go ahead and make your selection, and I'll see you again in just a minute in the next video. All right, enjoy your day.